What is going on, guys? Newton here at the MMO Player, bringing you guys a first look into Clash of Avatars. This is a free-to-play browser-based MMORPG. Now, getting right into it, here we are at the character creation screen. Now, in terms of character creation, it doesn't seem like that we really have much options available to us. We have the availability of basically 3 basic classes: Warrior, Mage, Priest. Usually it changes between other browser-based MMORPGs, but this one we do get a Priest, so I think we're going to go ahead and change the game up a little bit. Not all games offer a priest. Let's go ahead and select a character. We're going to go ahead and name our character real quick and jump right into the game. Now, I wasn't really expecting too much character creation when it came to the game. Now, let's go ahead. We're hit at a loading screen. It seems like they kind of stole some concept arts and other things like that from other games. If you saw on the loading screen, there's like a chicken, and it closely resembled the chocobo from Final Fantasy. So I wonder if it's just another one of those games that's kind of just a copy-paste MMORPG. They took some other concepts from other games and kind of just slapped it together to kind of make some money, which a lot of these browser-based MMORPGs do. But let's go ahead and get right into it, and it seems like it's jumping us right into the combat, which is not bad. I like that. It seems like it's definitely an interesting game. The combat feels like Diablo or Path of Exile. It's a little bit of an action RPG, and we actively get to do something. Now, does it have auto completion for quests? It does. It does have auto tracking, which is very standard and straightforward for quests, something I did expect. It's not too new here. It seems to be a standard in most browser-based MMORPGs. But as far as the graphics go, they are in 3D, which is nice to see. It's not just 2.5D kind of anime art style, which is kind of nice. There's a little bit more depth of the world. Now, the maps do take a long time to kind of load in, which is kind of awkward. So you're kind of stuck here floating along in this kind of what looked like an ocean. But let's go ahead and keep continuing on. Now, as far as things go, we're kind of running back and forth between quests, and not really much for us to do in terms of actually playing, unless it comes to fighting some bosses or stronger monsters. But even the game kind of just plays itself for us and uses our own skills for us, so there's not really much we have to do. But in terms of everything else, the game looks a little bit nicer and looks better than some other browser-based MMORPGs that I have played, which is kind of nice. It's nice to see that this isn't exactly a cookie cutter or a copy-paste kind of browser-based MMORPG. There's a little bit of uniqueness to this and a little bit of difference to the game, which I gotta say I kind of like. I kind of like the characters. They look pretty good. The 3D animations. It's nice to find a 3D browser-based MMORPG, because not a lot of them exist, or a lot of them have to install add-ons in order to play. So if you're looking for something with a little bit of options, with a little bit better graphic style than some of the very basic browser-based MMORPGs, this one is definitely one to consider. But in terms of gameplay and progression, it acts and plays very similar to other browser-based MMORPGs. So it looks a little bit different. The combat's not bad. It plays very nicely and smoothly. Screens take a little bit of a long time to load in. Oh, there we go. They were talking about the chickens right over there. This is definitely a take on chocobos from Final Fantasy. If you guys know what I'm talking about, this is basically a copy and paste of chocobos. If you've ever played any of the Final Fantasy games, it looks very, very similar. I mean, especially with the game here, they have a lot of cool, interesting monsters, but they definitely could have come up with something a little bit more unique or original when it came to a mount. So let's go ahead and we'll go back to the city. We just ran a dungeon real quick right there, and congrats, we unlocked our pet. So did we get our free chocobo, or what do they call it here? No, I guess we didn't get a chocobo. We got a master kit. So let's go ahead and deploy this pet, which I guess he helps us out in terms of battling, which is pretty cool. I don't mind a pet system in games. It's really cool. It's fun. I really enjoy when games add a pet system, because it makes it fun to collect and level them up and see what you can do with them. So that's always kind of exciting, a little bit different and fun about this game. But let's go ahead and keep continuing on. As far as things go, the game's kind of running itself for me. I'm kind of just talking about it and seeing what my character's doing as things pop up. But in terms of everything else, I'm kind of just completing these quests as I click on them, running some dungeons when they're available, and running back and forth from quests. The game kind of does it for me. So now here we are running another dungeon. I'm not really using any of the skills. We can even auto fight. They have an auto fight button if I just press Z. So it seems like the game will completely play itself for you. It looks nice, it's a little bit different, there's some things to do, but generally the game's gonna play itself for you and progress your character along the way. The progression's very fast, and as we've been looking through this game, like I said, 1-2 quests gets your character leveled up, which is pretty standard level progression in browser-based MMORPGs. Already we're level 11, took really no time at all, so I'm pretty sure the level cap's gotta be pretty high in this game. So let's go ahead and upgrade our skill over here. We can add different elements to it, which is kind of cool. I think that kind of brings a little bit of uniqueness to the game. You can pick a skill and add different elements to it, which kind of changes its properties, which is kind of cool, a little bit different, adds a little bit of uniqueness to each class, so everything's not exactly the same. But generally, it's very simple, straightforward browser-based MMORPG, and there's not really much else to kind of go over. If you've played other browser-based MMORPGs, this one will feel very, very familiar in terms of gameplay and progression. It's just the combat and the graphic style do change up a little bit, and it's nice. It's nice to see something different, but in terms of gameplay, it does feel very familiar in terms of other games that are available through the browser. And I wish the dungeons were a little bit longer as well, but other than that, that's pretty much it for this game. If you guys have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. But until next time, guys, I will talk to you later.